So we recently released a new feature, which is importing repositories. And one thing that you can import very reliably is Lovable projects. We found that a lot of the community wanted an option, so they could move away from Lovable when they need to start using other tools like Cursor or VS Code. So now with this feature, you can just connect your application from Lovable to GitHub, and using that GitHub repository, you can just connect it to a Diploi environment, and you can start coding already and collaborating with other developers. So let's just go through the process. Alright, so in this demo, all we will be doing is we will go into Lovable, take one of our projects. So in my case, I have a few projects here. I will choose one that is not using any database. This is mainly running all locally on the client side. And I will import this project to Diploi just using the GitHub repository that is attached to my Lovable application. So let's now go into Diploi. Now we are in the Diploi dashboard, and I'm going to create a new project. I have the option to import the repository. We have two ways to import the repository. One is by picking the repository directly from the list of available repositories in my account, or using a URL. In this case, I'm going to use a URL. So I just paste the URL directly here in the field, and then I click Analyze Repository. So now the system will review what this project is, and it correctly detects that it's built with Lovable. So we are ready to start deploying this on Diploi without having to configure any services or dealing with any server configuration. So let's just click Launch Stack, and we give it some time so it sets up our environment. All right. So our environment is now starting. Let's give it some more time. So it finishes setting up all of the system for us. Alright, so it's still loading, but one thing that is enabled already, is already available, is our remote development environment, which allows you to start coding directly from the browser. So you don't need to have to run this project locally. You don't need to clone it and then do npm install and npm dev. All you have to do is just open the browser IDE, and now you can start coding right from your browser. And in the process of adapting this Lovable app to be something that can run on Diploi, the Diploi system created a few files on your behalf. So one of those are Docker files, and the other is the Diploi YAML, which basically tells to the Diploi system how to build your application and how to deploy it. You can modify all these files, of course. That's you have some freedom on how you configure the server, but the main idea with Diploi is that you don't have to struggle with any server configuration. And as you might have noticed, I have here 4 different changes that need to be committed in order for this to be permanent, since our application, the way Diploi works, first create these files for you as part of the folder for your application, but it doesn't commit these changes, since we know that you probably want some control on what gets pushed to your GitHub repository. So once you have reviewed the changes and seen that everything is exactly as expected, that there's no changes that will break something else for your application, all you need to do is commit the changes and they will be part of your repository. All right, let's go back to our dashboard, and you have another option that is to use this remote development environment either with Cursor or VS Code or also you can use Windsurf or any IDE that allows you to connect via SSH to another machine will be compatible with Diploi. So in this case, I use VS Code, so let's try to run it locally. So I can use all my extensions, all the specific configurations that I have in my own local environment with this remote environment that is hosting my Lovable app. And here we have it. I have it now running in my machine as if it was locally running, but the main difference is I had to do no cloning. I didn't have to install any of the packages. Everything just runs directly on this remote development environment. All right, so let's check our app. So it has finished loading. Everything seems to be okay. So let's just view the app. And it is running. No changes needed. I didn't need to configure anything to make this work. It just worked right away.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
So it seems to be working well. So now it's your turn to try this and let us know what else can we implement. As you might have noticed if you explore a little bit of what Diploi is capable of, we also have an integration to Supabase. So it is as simple to move your application from Lovable into Diploi, which then you can connect to other tools like Cursor, for example, or VS Code, and make your development workflow easier, since now you can host this application with your typical workflow as a developer. Let's say you are using branches, you want to have different releases between what is in Canary, what is in production, what is in staging, what you share with your other developer friends or colleagues when you're trying to work on a complex project collaboratively, which is not that easy on Lovable. So try it out, let us know what you think. And if you have any questions, as always, you can drop them in the comments or come to our Discord community. We're always active there. We're happy to answer any of your questions. You can also email us if you prefer that. And the email is hello@diploi.com. And you can find all the links in the description. So that's it. Bye.